Welcome back to 2020 LCK Spring Split Analyst Desk after KT vs Hanwha Live game number 1. We'll be joined by Pittori and Wadid for today's Analyst Desk. First, let's talk about the draft. KT and Hanwha Live Esports, well, they had some weakness, you know, because KT had a very weak top and Hanwha Live had a very weak bot. So let's see how this affected their draft. They didn't really go with a very unorthodox pick. Well, they went with a very top meta pick, LeBlanc, and also, so for a counter for LeBlanc, they went for Lissandra. KT had a very smart first B1. So when you take J4, actually, kind of opponents try to or tend to take Ezreal away from J4 because it's a very good champion into J4. However, Hanwha Live Esports, at the same time, they did not want KT to take MF J4 together, so they were kind of forced to take MF for R1. But as soon as KT locked in Ezreal, there was no specific champion to reach out to Ezreal in the side of Hanwha Live Esports. But instead, Hanwha also was able to take LeBlanc, undefeated champ up until now. However, actually, things happened in the beginning of the game. So both AD carries fell in a very early phase. But, well, actually each stat really means different from time to time. So MF placed the ward over there, but Tuzin just immediately raised that out. So this action actually enabled J4 to go for a very easy and typical J4 level 2 gank. So it was really predictable, but Hanwha Live Esports this time around, they had no heads up for this play. When Nautilus erased that ward out of the tri-bush, actually, Hanwha Live bot laner should have been more aware and cautious for that incoming level 2 gank, but they were a bit too overextended. Well, MF did hold it on to its flash over there. However, MF had heal, but Ezreal had TP, so this summer spell difference also affected the game a lot. So this highlight is about another kill on the bot lane. This time was actually Ezreal fell down. And also Bono managed to burn the flash out of temp. A very important temp over here, Ezreal. So Haru actually skipped the Scuttle Trap and ran to the bot lane and made a kill on Ezreal. So MF and Taric, instead of just making the whole minion wave to burn and freeze, they decided to push that lane. So Ezreal TP'd back instantly as he revived, so aiming did not miss any CS over there, and then story went the other way around. Aiming and Tuzin was able to freeze that wave forever. With that lane control and priority, well, with that very weak champion in early game, well, KT Rolster has overcome a weakness of their comp. So aiming was not having any hard time to scale up to late game. So that was a very big difference coming in from heal versus TP. So if you die early, well, in that level, like level 2 or 3, dying with TP is like maybe close to recalling. However, if you have heal and if you die in early phase, you miss so many CS and XP. So KT, even though game went a bit back and forth, KT was the one with more confidence and more stronger teamwork. So the player of the game of KT Rolster would be aiming on Ezreal. Again, DPM was 1047 and he dealt 47% of the team's damage in this game. Bono also had a very bad game on J4 before, but this time around Bono was really confident and he was pulling off really clean performance today. So I guess a lot of different players all deserve this highlight and attention, but Aiming was the player of the game, and this can be the highlight of today's match, especially on Azrael, because he was so confident, he was really well fed, so he could just dash forward, pushing out and zoning out all the other players. So except for those two sitting on the studio, rest of the voters voted for Aiming for this game's player of the game.
주면서 이렇게 김아람 선수, 에이밍 선수가 POG를 하나 더 가져가게 됐습니다.
So with that, another POG going to the pocket of Aiming, we are moving over to game number 2, KT Rolster Hanwha Life Esports. Hanwha Life has to find a better comp, especially in the bot side, who they want to play, who they want to sub in, or what kind of comp they want to pull off. And Soan also in the mic check said he's really sorry for his bad performance, so it all comes down how the teams overcome their weakness in terms of laners.
Thank you very much, Ji-Sun, once again for the awesome translation of the analyst desk. As we did have Aiming pick up that one, and we are not wasting any time at all. We just
didn't even come back to us.
Yeah, spun right into this.
It's because of you.
Yeah, they didn't want to show me on camera. I understand.
I think you're handsome.
My last year's Halloween costume was Tom Kench. Yeah.
All right, well.
Well, I know why you think I'm handsome, because you think Tom Kench is handsome.
Well,
there you go.
I do think
we figured it out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. I'd say that you went up 0.5 since getting your braces off, but
nice.
There's no number above a 10.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you mean? There's 10.5.
What?
You could say 10.5. That would be even
you
better.
Killed it. You killed it, and we're in the draft. As Nautilus LeBlanc now banned away by Hanwha Life.
Felios Ornn on red, no doubt. I don't think we're going to be seeing too much more LeBlanc, because even though they lost, the power was there. You could tell from the side of Tempt.
You know, what I think is Tempt was like, this time I'll get him on LeBlanc, and then Haru said, no. He just banned it. That'll be all.
We've seen enough.
All right. Jarvan is opened on B1 as Soraka and Ornn with the final bans. And now KT, it's on them to respond. Will they just take Ezreal? I think it's perfectly fine here.
Might as well. I mean, Aiming's so good on it,
we
but
might get the Senna Tom.
Forgot about this.
Senna Tom is the first variation of many to come if Riot does not do anything about Senna in coming patches. Tom is where it starts. And then it evolves into the next thing you know, Taric, and then next thing you know, Galio, then Zac, and then other tanks, and then mages. And more will eventually be coming. So Senna is already threatening to do that so far in this game. And Misfortune being hovered. So they're going for a bit of a combo.
Ooh.
Okay, taking MF and Yuumi.
Now, the Ziggs was picked multiple times into Senna Tom Kench, but how about this? Senna Volibear.
Yeah.
It's already beginning.
That is, all right, so we're already seeing evolutions, and I actually like this so much better than Tom, because these champions do scale much better, and they're more oppressive with advantages in an aggressive sense, whereas Tom is obviously on the defensive aspect, but when you're drafting an Elise as well, I like when you're going to at least stay on theme, even if I am getting my holy water as we speak.
Yeah, pull that out. Yeah.
I'm going to need that for this one, as Zoe looks like she's zooming in on the draft as she gets banned away.
She's got it in her sights.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You notice how she has two different color eyes? You ever noticed that?
Yes, I think you've pointed that out before.
Have I?
Yeah.
All right.
We've casted a lot together.
We have.
Remember 2017?
The
good old days?
Yeah, I remember 2016, but
What?
you weren't with me then.
Yeah.
That was a different.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was not you. As Pantheon actually going to bite the dust. And that's a very powerful combo. Elise Pantheon. Very, very strong, obviously, in solo queue, but very oppressive even in competitive. As the Azir coming out is a bit interesting. It's a way to try to dial back on their just straight up raw aggression and try to give them some sort of insurance.
Yeah, we've seen this from time to time out of Azirs that do get picked here in the LCK. Kind of just a solo Azir within the comp that is safe and can scale.
A blind Camille. And now a Syndra to come in to answer the Azir. So we got some stat checks all around going on here, but definitely a very scary situation to just blind the Camille in. And now what is Soan's answer to it going to end up being? Really?
Isn't Camille a counter to Aatrox?
In the later stages. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. But it's going to pick that for now.
This is definitely a bit of a bizarre counter pick that is being utilized. Perhaps just Soan's comfort inside of the matchup.
Soan's most played is Aatrox.
Yeah.
And this is going to be his 4th game on the pick. He's actually one of our top laners that's played a ton of different picks. Already 9 unique picks so far.
And we'll see what ends up happening in these matchups here. As really the Senna and Volibear is just going to dictate the pace of this game. With the way that the team composition is, if Senna and Volibear gets ahead, they're going to be so oppressive and difficult for the enemy team to handle and try to scale up with. And it really is just going to feel like the only out that Hanwha Life is going to have is if that Camille gets extremely big. Now, the other fortunate thing that they have going for them is there's not a lot of incentive to build magic resistance on the enemy team, so the Syndra, very valuable, scales into the later stages of the game due to that dynamic.
Yumi.
You and me.
Yeah. That is what her name is based off of. I like the counter pick Volibear into the Yumi. That also works out with Senna. That's I'm a big fan, and I think it will work out here. Excited to see aiming on something that's not Ezreal as well. We all know he's a Ezreal top-level player. As we are going to hop onto this game right now. Of course, it will be the Famine Senna, as the Korean broadcast likes to call it. Just going to be taking that support item, sitting back. You get more souls as you're kind of supporting, so you scale through that. Your support item scales through building up the quest, and then you eventually get your items as the game comes along. Meanwhile, your quote-unquote support is, of course, getting all of the actual farm.
Yeah.
And will become a big, beefy bear. That's 3 Bs in a row.
Well, take a look at him. Just imagine the calf muscles.
He's got Conqueror, too.
Yeah, he does. I mean,
not
he
messing
looks
around.
like a Conqueror.
He's going to be getting in there. He might actually make the ultimate look like it does something.
Yeah. So there's going to be some bear on cat going on in the bot lane here.
Ooh.
So this is sort of like going to like an animal park. And like
Okay.
Senna brought her bear, her pet bear, and then Miss Fortune brought her cat.
To the animal park.
To the animal park. Yeah, look, the bear is furious.
Look at this. Ignite's already down. Tucson, really angry. Good start to the lane. Good job. Good effort by both sides.
Well, they ended up winning the Summoner War. You got 2 Summoners for the price of 1.
Oh, I didn't even actually notice that the barrier was taken.
Yeah.
That's really important, actually. So, good win by KT already.
And now it's going to be Tushin that is going to be trying to farm, but double ranged, versus ranged melee. We'll see how effectively Tucson is going to be able to farm. As Senna, this is your first time seeing this combo. Senna typically just farms the opponents for souls, as the Volibear is going to be the one that's farming. Yeah, so they both come online, Senna via her passive, whereas Volibear comes online via just power farming up.
Yep.
And then eventually Senna transitions into the AD carry later.
Yep, with her support item that scales up. And it'll be interesting to see this top matchup. I feel like Kive had a pretty good laning phase up against the Kennen in game 1. Now it's a totally different matchup as Camille versus Aatrox, and he's having a bit of trouble here as Soan is going to have some fun early on in the game, as you mentioned. We'll also be interested to see if Kuro can be the carry this time around, as Bono is he's just passing through. Says, thanks for the XP, bud.
And, well, Kuro pushing out that entire wave, shoving it back into Tempt. We'll see if he actually recalls. Doesn't look like he's going to. He just moves on to the right-hand side. And now, he could expend all of his mana and just absorb all of Tempt's combo, given that Tempt has Teleport, not Ignite. And if he did that, he could just get a cheater recall off here on wave 4 rather than 3, and it would still be pretty effective. But if he stays in lane, he is losing to the Syndra at this point. He has mismanaged wave 1, 2, and 3 leading up to this moment. His mana is about even with the Syndra. He's down Teleport. Also down in the CS department. As you can see, Syndra recalling now. And picks up a Dark Seal, as well as a Doran's Ring, and immediately teleports back. So this is basically Tempt saying that he wants to keep on the heat. He wants to make sure that Azir feels threatened, feels contained in mid lane. And as a byproduct, this will drag Elise to mid, because Azir doesn't have the mana to sustain throughout the laning phase, and he needs the jungler assistance in order to get a recall.
Yeah, the sustain on the side of the Syndra is going to be about 80,000 billion times bigger. So it's good that he picks up those items, and he'll be having a good time down there. The difference about having Volibear down here compared to the Tahm Kench is that, of course, Tahm Kench is a lot safer and has a bit more poke, whereas the Volibear, I think, has more hardcore engage potential.
Bono a little bit too late. He's walking around in human form. And not quite there in time to try to smite that away from Haru. Doesn't even end up actually being a smite bite.
Yeah, he's just a little bit too slow. Doesn't have as many legs as the spider.
As I also want to point out, by the way, Soan has grasped the Undying on the Aatrox here. And there is some squishies on the side of Hanwha Life, and typically that's when Grasp tends to be better, when you get a lot more value out of the punch onto the opponents.
Look at Soan.
Yeah.
Freezing the lane, it looks like.
A bit of a freezer, yeah. Not a melter.
It's perfect because Cuvée doesn't have TP. He can't get back on time to handle the wave or try to stick around. He can deny a lot of XP.
What does this mean, Valdez?
Well, I was just saying what it was meaning.
Okay, but what does it mean a couple minutes from now?
Well, it means that Soan's gonna hit level 6 first.
Okay.
And that, what are you, like, running the play-by-plays simple mind through it so that you can relate to the to the collective? Like, is that what this is about? Like, I already know all about freezing. I've taken the 9-part course on this one. If you cast enough games with
Larry Seinfeld?
Yeah.
All right.
Larry is extremely confident and well-versed.
Does Luigi have a last name from Mario?
What?
What?
No, they don't. They're just Luigi and Mario.
We can make one.
What if he actually does have one?
What if it's like... I don't even know. What if it's like Supreme?
Supreme?
Yeah, Luigi.
What if it's Romano?
Okay.
That sounds a little bit
it
more
probably,
realistic.
Yeah.
I don't know where you got Supreme. That doesn't sound very Italian. In my, in my humble opinion.
All right. Very exquisite analysis.
Yeah.
We're on a bit of a
letting you
ping pong right now, currently, inside of this live game. The good news is that Cloud Dragon's the first one. Also, Soan, I think, unlocked the freeze, which is a bit peculiar, but we can already see the effects of it. And we're also seeing the effects of the Camille pick so far. As right now, the Aatrox riding her currently, 22 CS, and it's super early on, and all of this is being done through his own accord.
He had that small freeze. I think he put it on for 1 wave, maybe 1.5. But it got him all the lead that he needed, essentially. He picked up Ninja Tabi on his first back, and then that was it. That was the end of the lane, essentially. So take notes. If you're an Aatrox player, or if you're a top laner at all, you can incorporate this into your play.
And this is all pretty good. Now, someone just keeps shoving, though, which is a little bit peculiar. He might be doing this, obviously, because Bono on the Rift Herald right now, just trying to capture that.
Sure.
Trying to keep the Camille under wraps, not losing any priority inside the lane. Meanwhile, down in bot lane, the Senna and the Volibear are doing a fantastic job. It also looks like Titanic Hydra is going to be the first item of choice on the Volibear. And I'm actually curious to see if he'll pick up the Executioner's Calling, just to have that combo. We talked about it yesterday on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Now, there's not insane amounts of healing on the enemy team outside of that Yuumi that is just single target, but it is still healing nonetheless, and it would be a very nice way for Volibear to curb his power and still remain relevant once he starts transitioning away from the supportive role.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see exactly what kind of build he's going to go into, because this is kind of newish territory for us in the in the Senna matchups, and seeing exactly what can go alongside of that. The Executioner's Calling was picked up here by aiming. Maybe trying to go for a play here on Akuro. There's blue buff for both of them, so Temps can kind of just spam his orbs, try to knock it down. But Bono's here as well. There's no vision, actually. Could go straight over the wall, and that he will. The flash straight to try to get to Haru is for naught, as First Blood will be going over to Kuro on the Azir in the mid lane.
And Kuro getting this First Blood is really big, because it just sets the Syndra so far behind. Now, fortunately, Tempt is going to have Teleport available when he ends up respawning, but this is game number 2 of KT just lane kingdoming everywhere.
Yeah.
As Rift Herald now coming out down here in bottom. We'll see who ends up getting the gold. Everyone's going to share a little bit as the Rift Herald crashes in. And Fertile Drake coming up in 2.5 minutes. And if we're wondering why this lull state is happening, again, it's a massive byproduct of something we've talked about a lot on the broadcast. Laners not manipulating their lane states relative to their jungle's clear path so that a gank can actually occur. If everyone's just going into this game with this mindset, and we saw it in the mic checks during the break, Hanwha Life saying things like, "Oh, just farm up, we'll win later."
Yeah.
That is a bit peculiar. As take a look at the replay, and
Kuro says literally not a word. Literally silent.
literally speechless.
Yeah.
As that ended up happening.
He could hardly even believe his own ability. And, I mean, the second that the Elise pounced on him, he was pretty much dead. I don't think any flash was really going to help them there. But at the same time, I mean, Bono didn't have his flash. There was a chance that he could have flashed past the Emperor's Divide towards the river and maybe escaped that way. Either way, would have been difficult for him, even if he played it perfectly. As 2,200 gold just about on the Volibear. Let's see him pick up the juicy item. There you go.
The Titanic Hydra. He let out a roar. He was very happy with what we said. He's like, yeah. I translated that, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I do speak Volibear's language, not to brag.
I don't know if that's a brag or if you speak bear.
Linguistic supreme, so.
That is true. We're just chasing him down here. Nice dodge by Kive, but he has to flash away. Bono has been a presence on the map. in more ways than one. He's been top lane for a couple of ganks. He came mid, obviously picked up first blood, used the Rift Herald in the bottom side. He's trying to get everyone ahead and just to build on their lane kingdoms that they have already propped up in all of the lanes.
Yeah, they have erected castles every single lane.
Exactly.
And then they're charging Hanwha Life property tax on top of it.
They have to report to the Lords of the Land, which are the enemy laners. They're paying taxes. Feels bad, man.
Oh,
being a peasant.
Yeah. As this game is really just spiraling out of control. Senna actually picked up the Executioners.
Yeah.
And so that's really nice to see out of aiming. And Senna gonna walk over there, pick up yet another soul. Don't know how many souls she's at. As, okay, Cube,
right.
Hextech Ultimatum, so on.
Well.
Flashes away there, definitely a bit early. Lots of miscoordination on the side of Hanwha Life as they are doing quite literally nothing this game. Now, it's not a perfect game.
They're trying to beat Soan up here to the top side. They might actually be able to. It should work out. Can he trade back is the answer. The question, the answer is no. As on the opposite side of the map, on that 3-man gank, we have the Infernal going down to KT. The Mountain Soul is on the way. Extra damage in the bottom side as KT are just really snowballing this as much as possible.
And I really like what KT is doing here. They're going to end up getting themselves the bottom tier 2 turret. Hanwha Life invested so much in top.
Keep going.
Yeah, I mean,
stop.
Senna not going to pick up that soul. They also counter jungled Haru. They picked up the Infernal Dragon. They are just so far ahead right now of Hanwha Life. And if you're wondering what can Hanwha Life do to come back, I mean, you ask your question, is mind control in their arsenal? Because in a straight-up team fight, not only is it easier for KT to conduct themselves on a mechanical level, they're just so much stronger that so much would need to go wrong for Hanwha Life to have a chance, especially with how slippery some of the champions on KT are. So this is a very rough game. Also, very nice to see the Azir has the Nashor's Tooth, not the Luden's Echo. As Nashor's just provides Azir with a lot more damage. Not able to proc Luden's as reliably, and if you're managing your mana correctly, you just get so much more value out of Nashor's on this champion.
Yeah, gets the LS stamp of approval. And he will be feeling just fine. He's got the most gold in the game currently out of any individual champion. Volibear is the real carry. He's up in the top side, and so far the macro out of Hanwha Life has been quite messy. They've let a lot of objectives just go. They haven't been in the right places at the right times. And, I mean, they've sent like 4 separate people up to the top side to gank 1 Aatrox. He's really not sad about that. He's still going to be happy in the lane against Camille. And I wanted to test the hypothesis. I was calling KT to win this before the game started, and I don't know what it is, but in 2020, I feel like when you get excited about KT, it actually helps.
Does it?
Is that weird? Because against Sandbox...
Maybe we've been wrong all along.
No, well, maybe people were trying to be not excited, so they didn't have the power.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe KT
You know?
just needs your Spirit Bomb energy.
He might be onto something.
Spirit Bomb is
the last
pretty
couple of times against Afrika and Sandbox, they got ahead in the series, and everybody was like, okay, don't get excited. But then people inevitably got excited, and they started to win. And now it's like, what's going on? These guys are on a big roll. You shouldn't take that away from them, as Bullet Time gonna get them into a weird spot. It's gonna land, and that's the burst damage you need onto Vista. Not able to keep him safe is Lahens, as Bono just sprinting on through it, looks like in human form, able to lock it down.
so surprising just how much Hanwha Life is falling apart here in game number 2. And realistically, it's just so hopeless almost to try to come back into this game. They're losing every single turret.
Yeah,
They're falling down 6,000 gold here at 17 minutes to the better scaling team composition. As you have to wonder, what can they do at this point? Temp just shoving the wave right back out. Volibear, I mean, he's even sort of still doing his own thing.
Yeah,
On the left-hand side.
He's been unleashed. The bear no longer has an owner.
Yeah.
He's been made a lord of the land by the side of KT down on the bottom side. He's got his own castles, and now he's roaming. With all the money that he's got here, he's going for Dead Man's Plate.
I don't know why they would...
Secret Elise.
Why? I'm not sure why they would show the replay from the guy that died.
It's their way of saying, like, hey, he didn't see the Elise until the end of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They're giving him an out. They're giving him an excuse. I think when you see aiming come in, you have to predict that someone's with him in that stealth mode, but they were a little bit not cautious. They were not so
That
cautious.
definitely wasn't the winner's POV.
No, it was not. And he will not be winning POG.
Well, the game's not over yet, Melvin. Okay.
What? You're not excited?
We're only 3 Baron steals and an Elder steal away
Oh, okay.
from Hanwha Life.
So we're
being able
close.
to,
We're close. We're almost there.
yeah. Close is relative,
True.
you know? As we're just going to go back into ping pong, Mountain Soul is going to be the one coming up in this game. And that's actually really good against Hanwha Life in the sense that most of their champions want to burst you and jump on you right away, and the Soul just helps out so much with that, as they're going to end up fatiguing on their engage, not having a lot of value still left in it. And so it's a really good Dragon Soul for KT to roll this game and eventually end up picking up.
He went back and bought a control ward. I think everybody was expecting him to finish that item, but didn't quite have the gold for it. And that's going to be a big bear. He's level 11. He's ahead of Senna. He's going to be charging straight at the enemy, and there's not much they can do to stop him.
Also, Tushin has the second highest gold value in the game.
Wait, really?
Yes. He's farming.
I didn't even see that.
You leave him alone.
That's insane. Yeah, but this is fair and balanced. Seems really, really balanced.
Yeah. Barrelance. Wow. You like that?
Barrelance?
Yeah.
So balanced.
Just
I don't
add
even
an
know what
accent
accent
to
that
it.
is.
Yeah, you just add an accent to it, it'll work.
There's definitely somebody in the world that speaks in that way.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a nice little gank there. It did not work.
3 minutes until the mountain comes up, and you have item completions that are waiting to come in on the side of Hanwha Life, but none that are really going to give them some magical way back into victory, as the Senna and the Volibear are just so big. Yuumi just has one item. Volibear is at probably 2 as soon as he recalls.
2.5.
And now Baron is just going to go the way of KT. I mean, Hanwha Life are coming over here, and
The
he's
bear.
the gatekeeper, yeah.
Look at him standing there. He doesn't even go in. He just looks at them and they run away. It's like they saw a bear or something, and they really did. This push in the bottom lane is just, I don't know, futile. It is doing nothing. That's a scary gatekeeper, man. Look at him. He's so fast now. He's got the dead man's blade.
He's getting the POG from me. I mean, you can't get much better than
That is
this.
perfect, KDA.
Take a look at his strut, honestly. His posture as well is just phenomenal inside of this game. I don't know why they're showing us his ear here. The real action's
Yeah, who
at the
cares
top.
about that?
Yeah. I'm really sad we can't talk production. Just get the lock camera on the Volibear.
That's all anyone wants to see right now. The game is probably not going to turn back here for Hanwha. 22 minutes down, 8,000 gold. All we need to see is the bear.
Yeah. And I mean, Senna, again, she's transitioned now into essentially an AD carry. And it looks like Syndra is building Morello, which will have some effectiveness against the Senna and the Volibear. So this actually isn't a purchase that I think is bad, especially because they need as much current power as they can as they can get, because there's going to be a team fight coming up pretty soon.
There should be. I mean, the Baron is up here for another minute and a half. The Mount Drake second one is going to be taken by the side of KT, as Hanwha Life have decided, no, we're just going to split push side lane with 2 people versus 1. Now they're trying to pick on the bear. I'd say that's a pretty bad idea. Look at him, he's dancing!
Oh, man.
It's definitely how he feels in real life, too.
Yeah.
Like, he just wants to get up and dance.
Yep.
He's finally been unlocked as a support player. He's running after. That's the highlight of the game right there. He's still running after her.
He's the MVP. Yeah,
Player of the game.
I hope
boy.
Tushin is having a lot of fun, because I think that he's bringing a lot of joy to many viewers watching this game.
Yeah, he's bringing a lot of joy to us.
Yeah, he is. Take a look at him.
So happy.
I'm really glad the observers are in on this as well.
He really does have kind of a strut, actually.
Yeah, he does.
I thought you were just saying that, but he actually does kind of have a little, you know, little pep in his step.
I mean, I don't know what else to say about him. I mean, he's fantastic in every regard still. This is still just a very, very slow game. It's almost a 10,000 gold lead. KT is taking it about as slow as you could possibly go. This is, it's a science experiment.
Yeah.
What drives, what goes slower?
What drives the bear?
Yeah.
Imagine him with Mountain Soul.
He's
actually going to be so scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Kuro just continuing to wave clear in mid as ping pong is still happening everywhere. Forbidden Book coming in on Elise, not sure why. I think it would be probably better because Elise, Senna, and Azir are just mostly going to be poking. And given that some of the healing on the side of Hanwha Life is sort of active healing in the sense that they need to actively be hitting the opponents in order to heal, outside of Yuumi, who's single target, having the Runic Echo and the Leandri's proc via the Spiderlings constantly just going into the opponents, popping, and dealing damage that way, probably just be a lot better. Especially given that there's not really magic resistance on the targets that Elise is gunning for.
You are correct. He's going for it. The ultimate is popped. Look at that damage coming out from the bear. He's going to take down Syndra. He's slowed by Cuvee, but I don't know if he wants a piece.
Oh!
Look at him. He's looking at Cuvee. He's like, bring it on, bud. You got nothing. Down goes the turret. KT are going to win this game. Player of the game in my heart is absolutely Tucson. Look, he swapped the Volibear to top lane. Oh. What a great way to end it.
This is what happens when Intus is reborn. He gave his soul up to the bear god.
Swapped Aatrox to AD carry.
Wait, isn't Volibear like possessed by something in the lore?
I don't know. I thought he was like a god. I thought he was actually like a god of the universe, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he's just one of the most powerful beings, as we have all seen today.
All right, well. I hear the Korean casters are laughing a lot too. They're,
Yeah.
they're enjoying it. All right, here we go. Yeah.
I got him out.
You know the Space Jam soundtrack?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's what's playing right now in my head as I watch this. Really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
one
other
more
angle,
time.
Yeah.
Bully Bear. He actually said that he wanted Syndra's mink coat right there. He said he needed to
Give it back.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man.
Oh, and now he's gonna join the fight. Here he comes.
Of course they're running. They
Here I come. Get in there, Deucin. He's leading the charge.
I've never been happier in my
This
life.
game has devolved into.
He didn't even hit them.
He didn't even
He
get a
wasn't
chance.
interested.
So on. He was just observing his
Yeah.
his underlings.
Well, I mean, the support's dying right now in bottom lane. That's
Yeah.
all.
Support Aatrox
Yeah.
goes down. They don't care.
All right. Well, this is great. As Cube and Tempt, what they're trying to do is just sort of have Tempt Shadow or Cube Shadow each other, and they're trying to get pickoffs. And honestly, the only way that they could win this game is by CLG and KT. That would be the only Hail Mary, but there's no exposed inhibitor, let alone Nexus turret. So, right here, Tushen, you can see he's not interested. He only eats alive food, and he concluded that those were not alive.
Already dead.
Yeah. Oh,
So
man.
funny. It's like he's rolling at the same time. Standing there, not attacking. This is the 2-on-1. Not fair to bully a support like that. As now he's got Mountain Soul.
And, all right, well.
Look at his items.
He's
It's
doing
like going
fantastic.
old TFT build with the rapid fire cannon.
Yeah.
Does that give him extra range?
Spirit Visage as well. And that's almost invalidating the Grievous Wounds on Morello.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong. I was looking at the wrong person.
Oh.
Never mind. Yeah, he's still gonna be having a good time. No doubt.
As Tushen, he's not interested in playing with his friends. A bit antisocial here. What are these mere mortals to the bear god? Escorting in his minion wave.
He doesn't take.
Honestly, if this was WoW, this would be the new leader of the Horde.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's leading him into battle. Just kind of standing there, menacingly. Just thinking about an engage. Considering it. I'm only looking at Volibear in this fight. I have no eyes for anything else. Slow burn is going to come in as KT, they're going to flip Cube over. Down he will go, adding a stopwatch to his long list of successes here in this game. He's looking for more kills. He gets the final one of the Syndra, as that will be the end of the game. GG will go the way of the Volibear, KT, as they take him down 2-0.
So on. I mean, he had a really, it was very interesting to see him off-roll to support that game. And so he didn't do that bad on the Aatrox support there.
Yeah.
But Tushen actually
for
did a
sure.
phenomenal job on
It
the
means,
top
like,
Volibear.
I did nothing in this game. What did aiming do? Like, I think he ulted twice. That was good. Presses R, but he's got the sheepish grin on. He's like, yeah, I did my job. That's all that matters.
Volley V5 was this game.
Yeah, it really was. Kuro Looks like he had as much fun as we did.
Yeah. I think this was a really funny game. I think this is definitely something that can brighten the mood.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody was really excited for that, and they demolished. So, just want to say that maybe the tables have turned.
And Hanwha Life. Now, in their last mic check that we saw during the break, they seemed really cheerful and still happy and optimistic, even while getting pulverized in that one game that was shown. So, don't know how they're feeling after today's losses, because it really just felt like nothing happened. And this is a trend in the LCK. Nothing happens, and then there is a few very big fights that decide the entire game after an enormous buildup. It's like putting Mentos in Coke.
Is that an enormous buildup? Feels like that happens pretty quickly.
Yeah, but no, what I mean is the explosion
Oh,
from the fights.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I probably
yeah,
could have
I see
done
what
better
you
there.
mean.
Yeah.
So, again, guys, unfortunately, we will not have any POG interviews, which means we do not get to hear from the obvious POG, which was Tushin from game number 2.
I mean, if he doesn't get it, I think we need a petition or something at that point. As we're taking some highlights, I'm a little curious why they're showing us Elise and Azir, or Aatrox for that matter. Real highlights are down there in bot lane. As support randomly top lane, trying to push out a wave, not sure why. Ended up dying.
You got to stay near your 80 carry.
Yeah. As right here, it's a really nice play, utilizing Senna.
And this is the big one.
Let's get ready to rumble 1v2. It's actually Volibear from TFT, back in Season 1. He just flips her right over.
He is so powerful.
Yeah.
I love him. He just stares them down. That's his biggest power. We barely even got to see this fight because we were watching Volibear stare down the Camille.
And he drew so much aggro and pressure.
Yeah, he really did.
But this was really one of those games where it does feel really bad. Because KT basically had a champion just randomly pushing a lane the entire game. And then everyone on Hanwha Life still just lost. This is like those solo queue games where one player, doesn't matter what they did, they were going to win anyway.
Yeah.
It was sort of like one of those moments. As support Aatrox getting caught out again.
Yeah, I mean, so on the support Aatrox. It's an interesting tech, but we're going to have to see more of it before we make a real conclusion. The Volibear side of it seemed good. I don't know about that Aatrox.
얘네 건다 이번에 걸 거야. 얘네 걸고 와야 돼 이거. 이번 걸고 와야 돼 자르반.
Okay, 알았어.
이거 야 들어가도 된다 이번에 들어가도 돼.
You can see
자르반.
Aatrox goes in there on Haru. Ends up bringing down Cube. And the Aatrox is just, I mean, he's running around with his ultimate.
잡아. 나이스. 나 그렇게 잘하냐?
Getting all the kills.
It's like, why are you so good? Followed by some nice laughs there. Oh no, we had 0.8k, and now we have 0.7k. That's also going to hurt Haru's Jarvan win rate. He was 4-0 on this before today.
That is going to slice his
Then he got
DPS.
spanked in this game by Bono. If we didn't have the god-tier Volibear, Bono would have been the obvious player of the game, as he was making plays all over the map. But then Volibear came in and really, he made it known who the real Pog was on his team.
Probably one god is what it stands for.
Yeah, probably
the
one
bear god.
And POG will be Tushin. No question here.
Yeah.
It is 7 out of 9 votes for Tushin. The 2 Korean casters voted for Jungle. They didn't understand the power.
They didn't get it.
That was Volibear. Obviously, they were not on the same page.
The memes win today.
Yeah. The memes are the champion. True Pog. I mean, you watch this, and how can he not be the Pog?
Well, This definitely was a Pog State game for Volibear.
Oh, yeah. I like the reduction on the healing, but still Camille can't do anything afterwards.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. Unfortunately, again, guys, we're not going to get to hear from Tushin after that Volibear game. I would have loved to hear what he had to say about playing the Volibear carry in this one, but not going to happen. Maybe some, well, there's no media here either.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if
We're
you
never
guys
gonna
will
get
get
to
to
know.
hear. Maybe next week.
It's
if,
sort of like Godzilla. He comes out and then he goes back in again, you know?
He sinks back into the deep
yeah.
depths of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll see this again. Hopefully we do, especially up against Tsuyumi, because it was a lot of fun. We absolutely had a lot of fun. It is 6:45, so it is going to be about a hour-long break, but because of that 2-0 and the head-to-head, KT is going to move ahead of Hanwha Life just barely on the standings.
And this is, I think, saying something. I think that you need to get excited for KT. I think it powers them up as they're on a tier right now. With the win spree, they are so close to potentially being able to make it to the west-hand side, and it's been a long time since that's been a thing.
It's been a while since KT has felt the sun from the west.
Yeah.
And who knows? If they can keep this up, no doubt they'll make it over there. But guys, we are going to go into, again, Dom1 up against Afrika after about an hour break. So stick with us. We'll get some food. You guys get some snacks. Maybe grab the popcorn, play with the cat. I don't know, perhaps go outside and breathe in the fresh air, if that's your kind of thing, but probably not. I like to stay indoors as well, but either way, LS is going to go now, and we are going to go now as well. We'll see you guys in about an hour. Stay tuned.